High Line has always been a story about David and Goliath, and it's been a constant battle.
Sometimes you see the world in a fresher and better way when you're a little bit outside of a field.
A journalist once referred to Robert and I in an article as a pair of neighborhood nobodies. We weren't architects, we weren't landscape people, we weren't politicians, but we were New Yorkers who knew our neighborhood, and when we saw an opportunity that was being wasted, we stepped forward and said, let's try and do something with it.
Most people, they looked at us, two guys with no experience, in anything related, and said, well, how would you guys do it? The High Line, when we came upon it, was an old elevated rail line, but originally the trains used to run down 10th Avenue, and 10th Avenue was known as Death Avenue because so many people were run over by the trains that they elevated it and created this elevated train track in the 1930s. And it served the industrial side of this western part of Manhattan, which was a lot of factories and warehouses, and brought in a lot of food to New York. The High Line was nicknamed the Lifeline of New York.
The last train ran on the High Line in 1980, and after that it fell into disuse.
It was a derelict railroad with a lot of rats living on it and weeds and trees.
This thing was viewed as a dark, dank liability, something that needed to be pulled down.
Looking at the crowds on the High Line today, it's hard to imagine the struggles that Josh and Robert went through to make this park a reality.
There was tremendous opposition from property owners. That was the most vehement opposition. They wanted the High Line down.
There were endless questions that seemed unanswerable. How do you deal with the underlying property owners and make them whole? How do you actually get people up there? Will people use it? I think both of us thought the chances of it happening were very, very, very low.
It can get so daunting. Or how are you going to raise millions of dollars and get all of these public approvals? It's easier to just look, what's the next incremental step that we can take that will be success?
There were a lot of key turning points. We mounted a lawsuit to stop the demolition of the High Line, which we won. I think the second really big milestone was when the Bloomberg administration announced at the end of 2002 that they were in support of the project.
They believed that if we made the High Line into something extraordinary, it would actually catalyze economic development around it, and indeed it has.
So the economic impact of investing in public open space is a key lesson for cities around the world. Build the public space first, private investment will follow. It really works.
To learn more, including how to support this groundbreaking project, please visit savingthecity.org.